Good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting to order. The City of Belleville acknowledges we are meeting today on a traditional territory of many nations. We recognize and honor the historic relationship of Indigenous peoples to this land and acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and natural resources with them. We recognize all First Nations, Inuit, who call Belleville their home, and support we need for cultivating a strong relationship with them. We look forward to fostering a path towards reconciliation and show respect for the Indigenous peoples who first lived and currently live on this land where we now all reside together. Please remain standing for a moment of reflection from our clerk, Doug Irvin.
May we be worthy custodians of all that has been entrusted to us. Help us to be concerned only for what will promote good government. May we bring to our council chambers minds that think and hearts that feel, always having respect for others, so that we may serve the people of our city in a helpful manner and for the good of all.
Please be seated. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none. I need a motion for approval of minutes of the council meeting held on January 12th, 2026, and a special council meeting held on January 22nd, 26 be approved. Moved by Councillor Sue, Councillor Thompson. Discussion from the minutes. Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Deputations, we have Brandon Ferguson, Director of Finance and Treasury, to go over the 26 operating budget review.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm very pleased to present the proposed 2026 operating budget overview. This presentation will be a brief overview with a more detailed presentation, budget discussion, and review taking place on February 25th, 2026. I encourage everyone to visit the city's website at www.belleville.ca/getinvolved to access additional information, the full operating budget package, and to take our budget survey to provide your feedback. The timeline and activities for this year's budget was similar to last year, but we have extended it for some additional time for some budget feedback. The city adopted the Strong Mayor's timeline, while also following the city's budget and financial control process, which provides for council guideline setting and finance committee review. Departmental operating plans have been established to enhance community engagement, as well as provide transparency and accountability of the budget process. These plans are developed to align with the strategic direction of the corporation, providing overviews of each department, as well as important performance measures and initiatives. This year's plan were enhanced for a greater corporate perspective, including enhanced external board and agency reporting, continued KPI development, and quick reference one-page summary documents. For the 2026 operating budget, Council established similar guidelines to the previous year. This included a residential property tax increase not to exceed 5%, excluding impacts from the fire master plan transition, utilization of public feedback in prioritizing services, a focus on legislative, health and safety, and maintenance of service level issues, and to provide capital contributions aligned to the approved asset management plan. These guidelines were very important and guided the development and focus of the 2026 operating budget. The 2026 operating budget contains a number of items aligned with community feedback received. The city is focused on primary care recruitment, infrastructure, and long-term care investment. A focus was also taken on affordability, and this included an increase to the seniors and ODSB property tax rebate, a proposed water and wastewater rebate program, continued cost recovery through user fee setting, as well as numerous tax relief measures included in the budget to maintain property tax affordability. Overall, tax relief measures resulted in a 1.57% levy decrease, and the low-income rebate program will result in the average recipient having an approximate 5% decrease in their overall municipal burden. Outlined above is the total tax increase required for 2026. This totals $9.9 million. City departments account for approximately $3.6 million, or a 2.62% levy increase. Items of significance include pre-approved compensation agreements, debt servicing costs, 2025 Hastings County funding adjustments, and 2-hour free parking. Additionally, some reductions were seen through increased recreation fees and interest and penalty revenue. New initiatives outlined in Category D for the city are limited to asset management contributions, primary care investment, and cybersecurity. City departments also undertook an extensive tax relief measures process, which included reserve fund utilizations, user revenue increases, and service level reductions. City boards and external agencies account for approximately $6.2 million of the increase, amounting to a 4.52% levy increase. This is predominantly driven through the police service costs at $4.5 million, and estimated provincial mandated services increased $1.6 million for Hastings County service provisions. Overall, boards and external agencies account for over 63% of the increase for 2026. The proposed operating budget provides for residential property tax increases moderately above the guideline of 5%, excluding impacts of the fire master plan. When adjusted for this, rates are around 5.5% for most tables, with Belleville Rural well under the 5% guideline. With the fire master plan impacts included, overall residential tax increases range from 4.85% for Belleville Rural to 7.28% for Campton Rural to urban area. Again, primary drivers across most portfolios is the police service impact, with Hastings County services also exceeding guideline. City service costs have been moderated through tax relief measures and limited increases, with predominant cost drivers being capital financing for the city. User rate funded operations include water, wastewater, and parking. The rate charged for these services cover all the expenses of the operation. Revenue increases reflect approved rate increases, as well as adjustments for growth. In December, rate increases for 1.63% was approved for water, 7.6% for wastewater, with expenditure increases in the wastewater portfolio being significant and driven by required increases to capital contributions. This increase is in line with the city's asset management and 10-year capital plan and is necessary to manage wastewater infrastructure needs. Various parking rates were also increased to align with the approved parking study. Overall, total revenue increases for 2026 amount to approximately 33%. These increases have been proposed to help ensure financial sustainability for the parking operation, appropriate planning and financing for capital requirements, as well as fund approved parking initiatives. Again, operating budget deliberations will take place at City Hall on February 25th. For more information, I encourage everybody to visit www.belleville.ca/getinvolved, as well as encourage everyone to complete the 2026 operating budget survey that's currently posted.
Questions? Seeing none, and motion to be received. Councillor Thompson, Councillor Chatton, all in favor? Carried. Next, we have correspondence. Quinte conservation letter, take as read. Moved by Councillor Thompson, Councillor Enright Miller. Discussion, Councillor Enright Miller.
Thank you, Chair. I just, thank you. Sorry, I'll stand up. Sorry about that. I'd just like to speak in support of this endorsement. Quinte Conservation proposes to act as lead applicant on behalf of 18 municipalities. The GMF or GCCC program supports long-term permanent tree planting projects in a variety of areas and footprints. Projects must be for new planting and include a maintenance and survival monitoring plan. And Lindsay Nash, who is the author of this letter that we have today with the Quinte Conservation, spoke to our Green Task Force Committee. So I'm just sort of endorsing this for people around the table, our councillors. Our endorsement through a letter of council support is required so that the Quinte Conservation can submit a valid application By us endorsing this, it does not obligate the municipality to participate in a project, but it does keep the municipality and local community or private groups eligible to access this funding. Without council support, the municipality would be excluded from this federal funding opportunity. Lindsay has explained how this program will work to us. The program will operate on a 50% cost share model, minimum project costs of $50,000 and maximum eligible project costs of $10 million. The municipality share may be supported through municipal budget, private or community partners, other grants or fundraising. Funding is intended to increase, not replace existing municipal tree planting budgets. So on behalf of the conservation authorities, Quinte Conservation will coordinate the application and the reporting that goes along with it, provide technical and administrative support, assist in leveraging additional funding where possible. I think we would all agree that tree planting anywhere is a good idea. And the initiative strategically aligns with the city's municipal climate and sustainability goals, urban forestry and canopy enhancement objectives, watershed protection and environmental stewardship priorities. So on behalf of the Green Task Force, I would 100% recommend this endorsement, that City Council provide a letter of support endorsing Quinte Conservation as the lead applicant for the GMF program, enabling access to federal funding and supporting long-term environmental and community resilience. Okay. Thanks.
Motion on the floor to support letter. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone. Next, Children's Safety Village request for a minor amendment to the loan agreement. Correspondence with Children's Safety Village regarding the request for a minor amendment to loan agreement rental, recital update to be received. The request be approved and appropriate bylaw be brought forward to council. Moved by Councillor Chattenden. Second by Councillor Enright Miller. Refers to 9-1 to move it to. Moved by all in favor, I guess. Carried. Press release from Ontario Road Supervisors. Recommend that the press release dated January 29th from the Association of Ontario Road Supervisors regarding AORS urgent respect for municipal public works operators, severe winter conditions be received. Moved by Councillor Brown, seconded Councillor Kelly. Discussion? All in favor? Carried. I need a motion to go in committee of the whole at 4:14 to hear and consider reports with Councillor Sue in the chair. Moved by Councillor Carr, seconded by Councillor Enright Miller. All in favor? Carried. Director Reed, I like the snowplows. If you can't see their mirrors, they can't see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we begin with 8.8 reports. Reads the agenda shall include under reports items that warrant individual attention from council. 8.A.1. Extension of draft plan of subdivision approval, Potters Creek subdivision phase 9B. Owner Potters Creek Development, Inc., file number 12T-06501. Recommendation reads that pursuant to the Senior Development Engineer's Report, APS-2026-01, extension of draft plan of subdivision approval, Potters Creek subdivision phase 9B, and extension of draft plan of subdivision approval until March 27, 2029 be approved. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Kelly and Councillor Chatten. Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Carr, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No questions. Just want to point out that, Council did approve this draft plan of subdivision back in 2023, so close to 3 years ago now. And I support the recommendation to extend it. Certainly don't want developers to have to restart the process, but extending it out to 2029 for 35 units is quite extensive. And then I did ask our planning staff to provide me just with a checklist of the draft conditions that were complete or not complete, and there's certainly a lot more that aren't complete related to even road design and a number of other items. So they are just in the I guess, initial phases of this draft plan of subdivision, which is concerning. And I just highlight this as an example where planning staff have moved exponentially quick in order to get the approvals in front of planning committee and then on to council. And here we have an approval from 2023, and 35 units are slowly making its way through the development phase. I recognize that building has slowed down. Certainly we get that impression at Planning Advisory Committee, but the demand is still there. So it's unfortunate to see things take as long as they are in the private sector, but just want to point out where we're at. Thank you.
Any more discussion, questions? Seeing none, let's call the vote. All in favor? Thank you. Carries. 8A2, 2-hour free parking in municipal lots within the BDIA boundaries. Implementation strategy. Recommendation reads that the manager of bylaw enforcement's report number MBE-2026-01, 2-hour free parking in municipal lots within the BDIA boundaries implementation strategy be received, and that the 2026 capital budget be amended in the amount of $42,000 to be funded by the Parking Reserve Fund for upgrades to pay and display machines. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Garnett and Councillor Enright Miller. Any questions and discussions? Councillor Thompson, please.
Yeah, just more of a comment than anything. You know, we sort of passed this last fall that we would implement the 2-hour free parking. Unfortunately, there was a lot of misunderstanding in the community out there. So I would ask that, you know, move as quickly as we can if this 42,000 is approved to get this upgrade, and also that the municipality put some press releases out trying to notify the people that the 2-hour parking, I think a lot of people understood it was going to start 1st of January. And I think we have to get it out to the public that this is not going to start until this item is approved. We buy the equipment and get it installed. So we need to get that out because at the meetings for the DBIA, which I'm a rep, the question's up quite regularly. Why is it taking so long? But because this situation. So I would ask that we approve this and that the city move as quickly as possible, and that we also do some press releases stating why the 2 hours is going to be delayed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Any more? Yes, Councillor Chatton, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If I may ask a question of the manager, Aggie Hill, if she's here. Just for clarity, when we had visited this before, there were several other considerations that were brought before us about the 2 hours and how much it would actually amount to. 42,000, I don't believe, was what we had seen the first round when it came to the table. And as I understand it, earliest would probably be May when it is implemented because of those parts that Councillor Thompson was speaking about being ordered. Could you just explain if there have been efficiencies discovered through the process so that it makes it more affordable for citizens? Thank you.
Yeah, through you, Chair. When we were looking at how to implement the 2-hour free parking to then lead into a paid session, there were a lot of considerations. So you were right. The first consideration, or the first rounds of this, brought additional enforcement increases, so additional enforcement bodies, or parking arms, or wigwams, as some people call them. We opted to go through the route of the additional enforcement, but as we're looking at putting this into place, we realized that there were options to upgrade our machines to hopefully reduce those additional enforcement costs. So hopefully we can reduce it. I can't make you any promises because it still remains to be seen, but that is the intention. we hopefully reduce from that 107,000, but we will see.
Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Councillor Chatton. Any more discussion, questions? Councillor Carr, please.
Yes, thank you. Just a question, and I don't know who can answer this, but in terms of, obviously we got the implementation strategy to bring in the 2 hours, but my question is, there's a lot of onus on the municipality when it comes to enforcement, when it comes to machines, all the rest of it to make it happen. Has the city put any obligations on the BDIA who's made this request to provide any data, qualitative or quantitative, to indicate that the 2-hour free parking is working or going to work when it's implemented? Is there any measurements attached to that, or are we just going by their request and we're going to implement it and we're not going to measure results at all?
Manager McGuire, please.
Through the chair to Councillor Carr. Yes, so I attend the BIA board meetings, and there has been discussion about data analytics. So we currently partner through RTO9, which is our regional tourism body through the province. We have a partnership between Bay of Quinte, the city, and the BIA. We are currently finalizing that contract, but it will provide back data for up to 5 years. So we'll have some benchmarks that we can review, and then they'll be bringing or tracking that data, and we can report on that at a later date.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Thank you. Carried. Now, 8A3, Workforce Development, Attraction and Retention Campaign. Recommendation reads, pursuant to the Business Growth and Retention Specialist Report number ECDEV-2026-02, approval of submission of an application to the Rural Ontario Development in partnership with the Loyalist College and regional stakeholders. Council approved the submission of application to the Rural Ontario Development Grant Program as outlined in report number ECDEV-2026-02, that $150,000 for the development of workforce promotional campaign be pre-approved in the 2026 operating budget, funded by stakeholder contributions and the ROD grant, and that a bylaw be prepared for council's consideration for the memorandum of understanding. Can I have mover and a seconder? Councillor Chatton and his worship. Any questions? Councillor Brown, please.
Thank you. A question to staff. It's asking for pre-approval in the 2026 operating budget of $150,000. Given that all of the documentation's already been published for the 2026 operating budget in draft, my question is, will this change or inflate any of the numbers that we already have in hand?
Director Ferguson?
Through the chair to Councillor Brown.
Thank you.
Yes, at the budget deliberations, we would take the resolution accordingly and propose the update be made, which is 150 revenue and 150 expense, which would provide a net zero impact to the taxation budget, but would update those figures within the economic development portfolio.
And just to confirm, my understanding is that 50% through the, I want to call it RED, and I know it's ROD, the ROD fund, and the other 50% through Loyalist College. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions and discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Thank you. Carries. Okay, the next, AP consent items. Council may adopt consent items by one motion, but prior to consideration of such motion, members may request that specific items be removed from consideration under such a motion, and council shall consider such items individually. So we'll go around to my right. Councillor Kelly, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to pull 8B2 and 8B3.
AP3, okay. Councillor Brown?
No, thank you.
Councillor Chatton?
Already been pulled, thank you.
His Worship?
No, thank you.
Councillor Emra Miller?
No, thank you.
Councillor Carr?
8B1, please.
AB1. So, okay, so Carr, Kelly. Councillor Thompson?
Just got pulled.
So it looks like all of them pulled. So the consent items AB1 to AB5 be approved. I guess we do it all together? No, it was first to three. Yes. First to three, that's exception of item AB4, is that correct? Okay, AB1, AB2, AB3. Okay, could I have a mover for this? Councillor Chatton and His Worship, all in favor? Thank you. So now let's start the very first one, AB1. Councillor Carr pulled it, and could I have a seconder? His Worship? Okay, floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just through you to Ms. Hill, if I could pose a question. And I appreciate this data. This is excellent. I know many residents have inquired about the total picture for the city. Through you, Madam Chair, my question is with respect to the definition of occurrence. So an occurrence is generated when the bylaw officer or animal control takes some form of action. Is that different than a report or a submission of a complaint? Are we tracking those as well, or are they different than an occurrence? Because if there's no action being taken, then just help me out with the definition, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so through you, Chair, the definition of occurrence was kind of shaped that way, so it was something that required action from an enforcement officer. Sometimes that's a phone call, sometimes that's a site visit, sometimes it's an order, sometimes it's a cleanup, all of those things. Any of the reports, calls, concerns that actually didn't really warrant true enforcement action or anything from an officer perspective has been left out of this report. So this required some form of action from an officer on every single one of the 1371.
And are you tracking, just in terms of getting an idea of the workload? So obviously, this is what there's been action taken, but if there's complaints or issues that have been identified to bylaw, which determined that there is no real true action that needs to occur, but it needs to be addressed, there's still work involved. Are you tracking those somewhere as well in terms of that data?
So for the, through you, Chair, so for the instances where an officer is called out to a site and there is no violation, that is still counted in this. Any of the general inquiries, the email responses, any of that general administrative things, they are not included in this. So this only dictates an officer either leaving their office, getting out of the vehicle, attending a site to do a site inspection. Regardless of what that action ended up being, it does require some form of action. So anything that requires nothing or a quick, simple phone call has not been included in this.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any more questions? Councillor Thompson, please.
Yeah, thank you. So the meters, when our parking authority go around, do they test each meter before they issue a ticket?
Through you, Chair, no, they don't test every individual meter before they issue a ticket. We do have a parking coordinator that does provide a general maintenance check on all of our equipments, basically in a big round or anytime that we're notified that something isn't working.
So my concern is somebody tries a meter and doesn't work. So they say, well, what am I going to do? well, they might be wherever and they don't bother going to City Hall, and they get a ticket.
Through you, Chair. As long as they can provide us with the information, we would send somebody out to go and actually check the meter. And if we are determined that it is working, say like the coin slot is jammed or the mechanism's kind of messing up, that would prevent like the spitting out of the voucher. Typically those tickets do get reviewed by staff, and if they are valid, like meaning the meter is working, they stand, or if they are invalid, meaning the meter was not working, then they are typically canceled.
So do we have a regular person go around, you know, and I don't want to say how often, but, and check the meters just to
Through
make
you,
sure
Chair.
they're working?
Yeah, so we have, like I said, we have our parking coordinator, and they do maintenance on all of our single space meter or the voucher meters on a regular basis.
Okay, and my last question then, so on the, down here it says 232 requests for dispute. Do you know how many of those were actually, did we, in those requests, did we cancel all those 232 tickets, or how many tickets would we have canceled?
Through you, Chair, so that number 232 are the actual official requests for dispute, so the requests for trials. We don't really track how many that we cancel on an administrative face. I can definitely find those numbers for you if you would like them, but we typically don't keep a running tally of the things that we deal with on the administrative side. So these were actually the official dispute requests that went through the POA court process.
Okay, thank you.
Any more discussions? Councillor Miller, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not necessarily a question. I just wanted to thank Manager Hill for the information. It is really good to see, and the numbers are it's quite shocking, actually. You guys are busy. There's lots happening out there, and it's great information to have, so thank you for that.
Any more questions? Councillor Brown, please.
Thank you. Through you, Chair, to Ms. Hill. You have indicated that on occasion, sorry, bear with me while I get to the right page. I just looked at something and lost my train of thought. I'm going to have to step back. I can't remember what it was I was going to try and address.
No
I'll ask you
problem.
later,
Thank
Aggie.
you.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Seeing none, we call for vote. All in favor? Thank you. It carries. And thank you, Manager Hill. Okay. The next one is AP2. Councillor Kelly pulled it. Could I have a seconder? Councillor Chatton. Okay. Councillor Kelly, floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Sue. I just wanted to draw attention to the report and make a few comments about it. I want to thank Director of Community Services, Carrie Lamb, and the team. I mean, many in our community maybe don't have time to go to the website and check out the report. I think it's very important that we share this good news. This is, when I was reading the agenda last week, this was bringing smiles to my face. So congratulations, Carrie, to you. I know you're new to the city and the team, but just wanted to share a couple of notes about it. In 2025, the Quinte Sports Wellness Center and our Community Services Department in Belleville delivered a vibrant, active, and connected community, and it's all in the numbers. They keep track. In our recreation services, aquatic program stats, from 24 to 25 increase in swimming, community swims, aquafit, 94,000 participants last year. We have a program offered swimming to survive to grade 3 students in Belleville, 370 students involved. We hosted 7 events last year. This is fabulous news, and hopefully you'll go to the website and take a look at what we're doing in our community with so many different programs. And I think of the economic impact with hotels, Airbnb, restaurants, retail. This is a beautiful facility, and all our facilities in the city drawing people. So thanks to Carrie and the team. I guess I just wanted to ask the director for the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center. We haven't had a chance to have a quick conversation about this, but at the rate the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center is hosting events, it always seems to be packed.
And I know Jenna Foote from the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center sends out a weekly report of events. It seems like we have thousands every weekend there. Will we be adding on or expected to add on to the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center in a few years?
Through you, Madam Chair. That's an excellent question, and it's one that I can share that, we're in the process right now of looking at how do we decentralize. There's been a lot of focus on centralization at the Quinte Sport and Wellness Center. So you can read in the report how this past summer, we actually took sports and summer camp out to the community. So we expanded and took camp to Parkdale. This summer coming, we're looking at actually going out to Thurlow and expanding summer camp out to Thurlow as well, because we are at a maximum at certain times of the year at the Quinte Sport and Wellness Center. The pool is maximized the best we can. It certainly has reached its capacity, and ice time is typically one of those things where you could have 10 rinks at prime time and fill them. It's the non-prime time hours that you continually try to look for people to fill that ice time. Is it busy? Absolutely. Is it 100% at capacity? Not necessarily yet. I know in speaking with Director Ashton, when we look at the Loyalist West plan, there is certainly plans in the future for another facility for the city as it comes, but that takes a lot of planning and definitely looking at funding as well. It's not something that just happens overnight. So as we look to plan, we're looking at how do we get into the facilities that are currently in the city and maximize those before we look to expand at the Quinte Sport and Wellness Center. But we are looking at maximizing what we have there today. So just because we use a room in the facility in the morning doesn't mean it can't be used the rest of the day. How do we maximize the space and ensure that facility maximization is happening before we look at adding any additional spaces on?
Thank you, and just wanted to say very impressive report, and good stuff going on in the city. Thank you.
Any more question? Councillor Enright Miller, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just want to echo what Councillor Kelly has said to Director Lamb. It's very impressive. The report is wonderful. What a success story the Quinte Sports and Wellness Center is, and the programs that are offered there. And it's a well-oiled machine, and thank goodness we have it. I mean, what it draws for Belleville. So thank you for all the dedicated work for your staff.
Any more questions? Councillor Thompson, please.
So the outdoor pool, which used to be the Kinman Pool, still a valuable asset to us. Could we survive without it?
Director Lamb, please.
Through you, Madam Chair. It's definitely a pool that I would recommend is well used in the summer. It's used by both residents, like individual community members, as well as our swim team. While our indoor pool is fully at capacity at the same time. So during those summer months when people are wanting to be outside, I would definitely say it's an amenity that you want to keep operating.
Thank you.
Councillor Chatton, please.
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. I also just wanted to point out and to say thank you for the efforts that the Community Services Department makes in ensuring inclusion, especially when it comes to the summer camps, and making sure that there's access to these programs for people that have disabilities. It's very, very difficult sometimes to find that across different municipalities, but ours is not one of them, thankfully. So I really do appreciate the amount of work that goes into ensuring accessibility. Thank you.
Any more questions, discussions? Wow, wonderful discussion. Thank you, Councillor Chatton. Thank you so much, Director Lamb. Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Wonderful, it carries. Thank you. All right. So. Okay. Oh, so AB3. So now the next AB3, and this one is called by Councillor Kelly. And could I have a seconder, please? Councillor Enright Miller. Okay, Councillor Kelly, floor is yours.
Thank you, through you, Chair. Just wanted to discuss or quickly give an update on the discontinuation of the Youth Engagement Committee. I met with the Mayor's office and the CAO of the city. and consulted with Director Carrie Lamb and her team, who are very involved in the youth committee. We just had issues getting youth to join the committee. They're all busy. Many are working with their school programs, and it was tough to get quorum. I was disappointed to see it happen. Councillor Chatton was on the Youth Engagement Committee as well. So in conversation with Mayor Ellis and CEO McDonald, we think it's in the best interest with the Youth Committee, and this isn't the first time that it's struggled to get quorum, but let's build confidence, leadership, and engagement in our community, and have our youth look at possibly joining other committees like accessibility, transportation, equity, diversity, inclusion, the Green Task Force. Those are just a few that we could get our youth to participate. They could be a strong voice and bring a different perspective to some of the focus with those committees that I touched on. So just wanted to give an update on the discontinuing of the Youth Engagement Committee.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Any more discussion? Seeing none, I call it for a vote. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, so now the next one. Okay, all right. Okay, next, AC, information items. Council may adopt information items by one motion, but prior to discussion of such motion, members may request the specific items be removed from consideration under such a motion, and council shall consider such items individually. So this time we only have two, but we still go around table. Councillor Thompson?
No, thank you.
Councillor Carr?
No, thank you.
Councillor Enra Miller?
No, thank you.
His Worship?
No, thank you.
Councillor Chatton?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Councillor Brown?
8C2.
AC2A, okay. And Councillor, what's it?
What we can do
AP.
is when you've got them into two, so we can go
2A. Okay, so Councillor Kelly?
No, thank you.
Okay, so the recommendation is that information item AC1A be received with the exception of ACA to be considered separately. Is that correct? Yes. Okay, so the AC2A. Oh, the mover, yes. Could I have a mover? Councillor Chatton, seconder, Councillor Enra Miller, all in favor? Thank you. So now it's AC2, Councillor Brown, and could I have a seconder? Councillor Chatton. Okay, Councillor Brown, floor is yours.
Thank you. Just for clarity for those around the table, the request from MADOC is related to the northern corridor that is being proposed. At this stage, they're in public consultation. There is a session in MADOC, I believe it is March the 5th. However, this report, I struggle to offer my support to the MADOC proposal as written because it frames it in such a way as to regional benefits without actually being able to put anything firm around what those regional benefits might actually be. There's a second corridor that's being proposed. I will address that separately later in the agenda. However, I'm wondering if anybody can offer, was there any conversation with the city of Belleville, given that we are probably by and large the biggest contributor to what they would consider as an economic development and driver and the regionalization. So I'm just curious as to whether or not, before this came forward, whether there had been any conversation with staff.
Okay, CAO, please.
Through the chair to Councillor Brown, there was no discussion with staff at City of Belleville that I'm aware of. It's been brought to my attention.
Thank you, CAO. Any more questions, discussion? Seeing none. Oh, sorry, Councillor Kelly, please.
Thank you, through you, Chair. So the way I read it is, the Center Hastings, Mayor Tom DeLine and the team there in the Madoc area are asking the city to support or endorse the Alto Speed Rail potentially coming into the Madoc area between 7 and 62, that there would be some type of building where people could access the train. Is that how I'm reading it? Is that how the rest read it? So in conversations at Roma for the last 2 occasions in Toronto, I spoke to the Alto folks that are putting this behind. There's going to be 50,000 skilled trade jobs created with this. I don't know if that's something we can walk away from that could certainly benefit our area. 50,000 jobs. It's a billions of dollars investment project. And they want to make this train go from TO to Montreal in 3 hours. So I know that my initial conversations with Alto, and I spoke directly to them, it's 50,000 skilled trade jobs, and they touched on our area, the amount of jobs, and they asked me, we may need thousands from your area to work. So I'm going to put my support behind Senator Hastings on this and support any conversation they may have with the speed train blasting through Senator Hastings.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Any more discussion? Councillor Thompson, please.
I'm a little bit, because they're talking about up in the Madoc area, this train could also go through Tanganyika and the other area, which will create the same number of jobs. So I don't understand why we're supporting. I don't think we should get involved in either one of them and just let it take its place. I'm not going to. So your intent, Councillor Brown, is to support this? Okay, thank you.
So any more discussion? Okay, Councillor Eleanor Miller, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just in discussions, I know we're going to revisit this. I understand that Tanganyika would not be not related, but where the track may go, it's 2 totally different. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Eleanor Miller. In this case.
It's just to receive.
Okay. So any more questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Favor of supporting, receiving. Receiving. So may I see your hands, please? Support of receiving it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Thank you. It carries. Okay, AC3, item of interest, there's a none. So now we're going to 80, rise and report. Recommendation that Committee of the Whole does now rise and return to Council at 4:47 p.m. And could I have a mover? Councillor Chutton, Councillor Kelly, all in favor? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sue. I need a motion for that bylaws numbers 2026 008 009, 010, 011, 014, 015, 016, and 17 be read and passed. Moved by Councillor Enright Miller, seconded by Councillor Chatton. Discussion. All in favor? Carried. New business? None. Okay, motions, none. Notice of motions. Councillor Carr.
Thank you, Mayor. I got a notice of motion. I'll just read it and I'll supply a copy to the clerk. Whereas the Ontario government's primary care action plan, January 2025, is to connect every person in Ontario to primary care by 2029. And whereas the Ontario government is utilizing Healthcare Connect to gauge performance on their action plan, therefore the Council of the City of Belleville formally requests that the Belleville General Hospital Foundation launch a recruitment drive, including community clinics on a regular basis, similar to the program initiated by the Trent Memorial Hospital Foundation, to get residents without primary care to add their names to Healthcare Connect, and that the city's manager of physician and recruitment and retention prepare and deploy a communication strategy to advertise on a regular basis the importance of unattached residents registering with Healthcare Connect in order to obtain a primary care provider, and the details on how to do so. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Hart. Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Your Worship. Whereas Alto, a federal crown corporation whose role is to establish a high-speed rail HSR network between Toronto and Quebec City, has recently released possible route options, with one coming through the City of Belleville, Ward 2. Whereas Alto has stated that the proposed southern corridor in prime agricultural and densely populated residential areas, as well as the Moira watershed, numerous conservation lands, will simplify construction and operations. And whereas the City of Belleville takes pride in its rural character, its residential and agricultural lands, and the many natural features contained within, such as the Moira River, the Eastern Ontario Trails, and the Frink Centre as examples, and we take pride in our efforts to protect environmentally sensitive areas throughout our community. And whereas the City of Belleville prefers to maintain continuity of our municipality and its unique features without the obstruction and obstacle of a high-speed rail line, therefore be it resolved that with the limited information and consultation that has been provided to date, and with our understanding of the potential impacts to our community, the City of Belleville does not support the proposed southern corridor, which will significantly impact Ward 2 Thurlow area of the city, and that this motion be sent to the Honourable Steve McKinnon, Federal Minister of Transportation, the Honourable Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, MP Shelby Cramp-Nyman, MP Chris Millett, the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, MPP Rick Brzee, MPP Tyler Alsop, Martin Imbrew, who is the President of Alto, and neighbouring municipalities within the HSR Southern Corridor.
Okay. Anybody else with notice of motions? Announcements. We'll start with this side, Councillor Thompson. Seeing Councillor Sue has her hand up.
Thank you, His Worship. Happy Lunar New Year. Korean Seollal 2026 Korean Lunar New Year celebration. For the first time in the Belleville region, we were honored to receive funding from the City of Belleville and to co-host a meaningful Lunar New Year celebration with the Korean community and the United Nations Association of Canada Quinte branch. This special gathering reflected the values of equity, diversity, and inclusion, and brought together approximately 200 distinguished guests, Belleville residents, and members of our Korean community, young and old alike. The celebration began warmly with the children performing traditional New Year's vows, followed by the sharing of blessings and the dividing of lucky pouches, filling the room with smiles and joy. Guests enjoyed a variety of lovingly prepared Korean foods, including bulgogi, kimchi, gimbap, tteokbokki, and more, creating a true sense of sharing and togetherness. The program was enriched with beautiful cultural performances, including arirang and holo arirang, Hangpiri music, Samalori drumming, K-pop dance performances, and a traditional Yunori game. These activities brought people of all ages and backgrounds together, creating a vibrant and memorable celebration that strengthened community bonds. It was truly heartwarming to see everyone live with happiness and appreciation, knowing that this event fostered greater understanding, connection, and friendship across cultures. We extend our deepest and most sincere gratitude to Korean community leaders who helped make this event possible, and to all volunteers who generously gave their time, energy behind the scenes. Thanks to everyone's dedication and support, this Lunar New Year celebration will remain a cherished and lasting memory. Many dignitaries came, including His Worship, Mayor of Belleville, and many Belleville councilors, including Sean Kelly, Garnet Thompson, Barbara M.R. Miller, and myself, Margaret Sue, MP and MPP, also attended, and each provided welcoming speech. And thank you so much. And thank you, His Worship. Happy Lunar New Year.
Thank you, Councillor Sue. Announcements, Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a reminder that this upcoming Thursday will be the Ward 2 Town Hall. Begins on Thursday, this Thursday coming at 6:30, and we will be at the Jerry Masterson Center, and we're anticipating that this will be a lively and rousing discussion as we go forward and detail out. The intent of the town hall is, of course, to discuss the draft 2026 budget, as well as a couple of other items that we would like to bring forward in terms of city business, and anticipate that there will be quite a lengthy question and answer period as we go through. So we encourage everyone to go. For those who cannot attend in person but wish to do so virtually, there will be a Zoom link available, and they should reach out that they are looking for that link, contacting councillor.carr@belleville.ca.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Councillor Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor, for giving us the opportunity tonight to say a couple of things. Just wanted to highlight Belleville General Hospital, BGH, Avril Lavigne, singer, Farley Mowat, author, Lauren Ash, actor, Mark Crawford, Stanley Cup winning coach, all born at Belleville General Hospital. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be watching the Olympics from Milano Cortina in Italy. Trent Michaud is a skater for Team Canada, born at Belleville General Hospital, August 29th, 1996. His mother is Lisa Freilich. Lisa was a former vice president of the Quinte Figure Skating Club. Trent started skating at the age of 9, grew up in Trenton. So when you're watching and looking for results, think of Trent Michaud, 29, born at Belleville General Hospital in 1996. But wait, there's more. Hometown hero from Brighton, Haley Clark, born at Belleville General Hospital. She's 21. She's a Canadian athlete in skeleton. Just 2 years ago, Haley, born at BGH, became the youngest world champion ever in women's skeleton at the age of 19. So it's pretty special to see these young athletes with a connection to Belleville. So all the best to Trent Michaud and Haley Clark. Also too, today, one of the parishioners at Eastminster United Church handed me this and wanted me to promote Shrove Tuesday. It's coming up on February 17th, that's next Tuesday. It's all you can eat pancakes, starts at 4:30, goes till whenever the pancakes run out. Its cost is $12, family 30, pancakes, local syrup, sausages, dessert, and beverages, and a couple of prayers. That's at 42 Bridge Street for Shrove Tuesday, the day before they kick off for Lent. And finally, I just want to wish all the residents in the city of Belleville a great Family Day weekend, and get outdoors and enjoy it because it's finally going to warm up. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. I have a few proclamations here, some cleanup as we missed our last meeting. I'd like to proclaim January 5th as the 150th anniversary of the funding of the Belleville Garden Club. The Belleville Horticultural Society was established on January 5th, 1876, and took its present name, the Belleville Garden Club, in 1973 to reflect the change in emphasis from rural to urban interests. The Belleville Garden Club is a volunteer not-for-profit organization interested in growing flowers, vegetables, shrubs, and trees for pleasure. The club's mandate is to inform, educate, and beautify both for the knowledge and interest of its members and for that of the community at large. Our current focus is on native plants, promoting biodiversity and eco-friendly initiatives. Over the years, the Belleville Garden Club has undertaken a variety of annual projects such as the Big Dig, a sale of chrysanthemums at what is now Memorial Gardens, and the Trillium Award, a program in which city gardens were judged by club members, with the best publicly rewarded. A memorial garden was established in 1988, dedicated 2 years later, and rededicated in June of 2019, when the new pavilion was opened with the intention to provide a place of reflection and quiet meditation for those who had lost club members. The club is currently involved with the Belleville Cemetery Garden, the Children's Garden, as well as the Belleville General Hospital courtyard space. Both projects provide the users of those spaces opportunities to relax and reflect on soothing and welcoming locals. So I'd like to thank those volunteers that make our city the great, beautiful city it is. Also, February is Black History Month. February 11th as 211 Day. February 22nd as Girl Guides of Canada World Thinking Day. February 22nd as the coldest night of the year. And lastly, I'd like to proclaim the month of February as Preventive Health Awareness Month. The health and resilience of residents form the foundation of strong, thriving communities. Preventive health practices such as regular movement, balanced nutrition, adequate sleep, stress regulation, proactive screening, and early intervention are proven to reduce chronic illness, improve mental well-being, and enhance quality of life, and empowering individuals to become the CEO of their own health. Through awareness, education, and accessible tools, it is a critical step in creating a more vibrant, self-reliant, and compassionate society, and Preventive Health Awareness Month is a call to break down silos in healthcare, foster greater collaboration among health professionals, and bridge the gap between clinical and community wellness, so that all citizens are empowered to live not only longer lives, but healthier, more vibrant ones with the extended health span, not just lifespan. Community-based health promotion, grassroots education, and approaches are key to shifting our healthcare culture from reactive disease management to proactive wellness leadership. Real lives touched by addiction micro-movement as a branch of FAM is dedicated to address mental health and addiction through prevention, education, empowerment, shifting the narrative from stigma to solutions by fostering collaboration, connection, and compassion across the community, and by amplifying real stories of individuals and families that builds hope-filled pathways for healing, recovering, while inspiring united action towards lasting change. With that, I now call upon a confirmation bylaw, that confirmation bylaw 2026 012 be read and passed. Moved by Councillor Chatton, seconded by Councillor Thompson. All in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn at 5:04. Moved by Councillor Carr, seconded by Councillor Enright Miller. All in favor? Carried. And again, I'd like to thank staff. Reports were excellent tonight, and thanks for getting us through it.